Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star, which we are playing one of our Those Dark Places. I believe it's episode 5, I think it is now.
I think that's right.
I think it's, yeah, and all sorts of magical things are happening. But if you have joined us for today, I do apologise because there's absolutely nothing going to happen today. You'll find out why in a minute. There's nothing that could potentially go wrong. So, thank you for joining us, but I'm sorry, it's going to be a very boring stream with a bit of walking around, a bit of coffee making, But if that's your thing, please hang around. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. We love people that return, and if it is your first time, like the Caveman Man, welcome, you're very welcome, and thank you for popping in. If you're here and you're lurkers, thank you again for hanging around. We love our lurkers. We do love our lurkers. There's a lot of respect for them. If you want to chat or you want to lurk, please feel free to chat away as much as you want. You can talk about what's going on or just have your own conversations. That's absolutely fine. We do acknowledge the chat stream in the game and through typing as well. So if you've got a question or something, please feel free to ask or something to bring up. There's a couple ways you can spend points if you click on the red sun. I have allowed tonight, for me, first time I think, the ability to name an NPC. Not that there's could be anything happening, but it's there. Or the chance to give these guys a boon, which is very generous tonight. So
worries me.
Not that they're going to need a boon. I think we'll just leave it on from now on. And there's some other bits and pieces. There's a new one which is in honour of Gilly, which is well, if you're making one. So if someone is making something or getting something, exactly, there we go. Then you can. That will force them to have to ask the other people if they want one to. So sadly, Ewan's given an example, but there's nothing at the minute because, unless you want bring me another spacesuit, maybe. But it's there. The option is there. So, sorry, I'm just slurping. Got tea tonight. So I think we'll get started. Let's not lurk around too much. My name is Luke. Hello, I am the Dream Weaver, the storyteller. Group hug from Legit. How you doing, Legit? You okay? Thank you for joining us this evening. I feel the need to group hug back, except I prefer the fist bump. I'm a bit standoffish. I'm not a very physical person in that regard. A fist bump's more than enough for me. That's like a group hug. So I'm Luke. I'm doing some storytelling stuff. The next 3 people are the more important people tonight. The first one is my friend, my comrade, my buddy, my pal. It is Ewan. Looking very tiny tonight, Ewan. Little Ewan! How you doing, little Ewan? How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Pretty good.
Good, man. That's what
To be fair, I am pretty tiny in real life. So.
You are actually. He's sitting closer to the camera than I am. Just to try and balance it up a little bit.
It's one of those camera tricks, yeah.
When he goes out with me and Ben, we sort of carry him around. Because his feet don't touch the floor otherwise.
That's canon now.
That is canon.
Yeah,
is it Grandpa or In My Pocket or whatever that little kids' TV show is? Beautiful.
Oh, come on.
Ewan, if you weren't Ewan and you were a cheese, what cheese would you be?
If I was a cheese?
Yeah. Important questions on Boys and the Baltic stuff.
Halloumi.
Oh, squeaky.
Yeah, because it's squeaky.
Just like Halloumi does. Thank you very much, Ewan. Good luck tonight. Who do you play, and why should people root for you?
Well, I play Liam Deturi. People should root for me because I get the feeling that you're trying to kill us. You just wish me good luck, which is unnerving. You've enabled boons, which is unnerving. And you said that nothing at all is going to happen, which is also unnerving. So, congratulations. I'm on edge.
Such a cynical person. Well, that's Ewan, everyone, and he's playing Liam. Say hello to Ewan. Next along is someone who's won the viewers' favourite honorary boy for the last 5 months in a row. It is Gilly. Welcome back, Gilly.
Hi, it's good to be back.
People get excited when you turn up. Why is that?
Oh, do you know, I have no idea, but here I am.
And it's a pleasure to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Bit nervous. I think you're gonna kill us off tonight. I've got that feeling.
I'm a man of peace,
Mm.
but you know, I'm not in the game, so. And my dice are miserable, horrible, mean things. So you never know. But there's nothing on there. Don't worry about it. Be chill.
No.
Although you're doing a good enough job just by looking at things at the minute. You're getting close to your mind killing yourself off anyway.
Yep. I am pretty stressed out there.
Oh. So for those watching, there is a stress thing where in the game mechanic where if certain things happen, you roll for stress, and Gilly keeps failing every single time. So it's getting more and more stressed.
I've had to put my dice in dice jail, so new dice tonight.
Oh, I hope they turn it around for you. If you were a cheese, what cheese would you be?
Oh, I would be brie.
Oh.
Because I'm smooth and very pale.
Yeah, I can go with that. That's good. Good choice. Both pick lovely cheeses. And who do you play, and why should we root for you?
I play Shay Hawkins, the Helm Officer. And you should root for her if you want to see more orange stilts on set. So
That is true. Are they back at the ship, or have you got them with you?
oh, I don't know. Last time I saw them, Clarson had them.
Oh, I think he was looking after them for you. I think he was putting them
Yeah,
somewhere
he
safe.
was. He was polishing them up for me. I
It
think.
was. That's because he likes you.
I don't think he likes anybody.
I was going to say, moving on to someone he definitely doesn't like. It's in character and in real life. It's Ben.
Good evening.
The smartest man in any room.
Mm-hmm.
The man who lives his whole life in fear of a make-believe android. How are you doing anyway, Ben?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah. Late night last night, but I'm. Oh, thank you for that.
That's all right.
But
He's watching over you.
but I'm very much up for this now.
Good, fantastic. So, to keep your mind sharp, what cheese would you be?
Oh well, for me it would have to be Conte Extra.
Oh, and why?
Well, it's really very hard on the outside, and it just gets harder as you get towards the middle.
It's just like you, really.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's you all over. You've all picked cheeses that really sum you up, I feel.
Absolutely.
So, who do you play, Ben, and why should people root for you?
I play a character called Misha Renkov, who's a fairly incompetent engineer. Why should people root for me? Because I'm the one who brings all of the actual sci-fi horror movie knowledge, so I probably do know what's lurking behind the doors.
Oh, well, I don't think you do.
No, I don't think I do.
Nah, it's nothing.
It's worth a punt.
I could give it away right now. There's nothing there. Well, there probably is. Right. So anyway, that's that. Good luck, everyone. I am wishing you good luck. I don't normally wish you good luck. I don't know. All the best. And should we get started? I suppose I better do a quick summary for those watching so you can get into the mood. So, these gang of three, Liam, Shay and Misha, are all crew members of a ship called the Nakuru. The Nakuru is an unexciting ship, if I can find a picture of it. It's around here somewhere. There it is. An unexciting ship used to reload, restock and run errands, basically. They're the errand boy of Maitland Corporation, one of the major corporations who now control space, basically. Sending out big expeditions, mining and bringing whatever they can back to Earth and the moon and a few other clusters of other moons around planets, because mankind is struggling for these things. It's dark, dangerous, filthy work, but someone's got to do it. And these guys have signed up to do it for over 2 decades of their life. And they've all already been through a lot, and they're still on their first month. So good luck going forward from there. However, they've been joined by 3 wonderful crewmates. Eddie Clarson, an 18, that means he's served for 18 years. He's the head of security. He's a fine shot unless someone nudges into him. There's Carla Munro, a navigator, who I think everyone agrees is is quite lovely. She's okay, isn't she? We like Carla, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing against
She's a
Carla.
delight.
She gets on well with you, Shay. There seems to be a good twosome at the front when you're sort of steering around. Yeah. And Evan, who was the most popular person on the ship until Shay arrived. Evan is an SAM, an android, owned by the Maitland Corporation, and is used by Maitland to give important orders if there's changes to things, if things come up. And he's been used a couple of times because things have come up. Their first mission was cancelled mid-flight, and they were dragged out of their long sleep. Shay had wet herself, which is it's a side effect. There's a chance, and it happened. You know, it happened to everyone, so we don't judge or point fingers.
No.
That's just a common thing. Around a strange planet, they couldn't move. They had to fix the ship. It got very close and exciting. They managed it in the end, just about by the skin of their teeth, albeit taking a few bumps and bruises along the way and near death. But before they could move on, security officer Eddie Clarkson, who had already made a lot of enemies in the crew, bless him, had been sort of shunned, and Evan was was told to talk by Maitland Corporation, and he told them that there was a new order in the system, which was to recover 3 engineers from the Algernon, the remainder of sort of a space station which was ready for demolition. There was a breakdown crew of 3, which the crew went onto the Algernon, found 0 of the 3, but what they did find was a lot of blood and signs of struggle. Always a good sign. Nothing wrong there whatsoever. Just an average day in the Corps, as it were. However, it did turn out, as they were in the system, that a mysterious ship rounded the planet. An impossible ship, a ghost ship. A ship that they'd lost track of, the Maitland Corporation, 100 years ago. This ship was called the Argent 3. The Argent 3, a vast ship, a kilometre long, dwarfing the Nakuru, broken down, covered in strange gloop, green, falling apart. And as the crew drew closer, there was no response to their hails. They were told by Maitland to place a beacon on it for salvage. And so, tasked with that mission, they flew in close. Shay pulled a rather lovely handbrake turn into a parallel park next to the emergency airlock. And with the emergency airlock just 4 metres away across the vastness of space, the crew stood by their open airlock, ready to jump across. And Shay Hawkins had a little cry. And that's where we begin tonight. So, Shay, you're at the front. You're the one that was obviously the most affected. The others are behind you. First call, I guess, on action is on you, I guess. How would you like to go about things?
Well, I most definitely do not want to go first. No, I can't. I just can't do it.
Much as I hate to say it, if this airlock needs opening manually, I think I should probably be there to do it, since I've got the best engineering skill. So I guess it's my turn.
Okay.
No arguments here.
No, but well volunteered, Misha.
I mean, I'm not wild about the jump, you understand, but once I get there, I think I'm probably the one who might be able to jimmy the door open.
It does make sense.
Okay, so you've got the 4 metres, you've got your ropes and your clips, but of course you're not going to be able to remain clipped to both sides all the way along, because of course you've got to get across to the other side. You're all currently clipped with your 2 clips, your main clip and your safety clip, ready just inside the door. But yeah, so you've moved your way to the front, I guess?
Yeah, so how long are the individual lengths of tether?
They're sort of like that sort of metre and a half, 2 metres. They hang a little bit low there to give you enough room to move around.
Okay. So, if I were to unclip one of the two currently tethering me to the Nakuru,
Mm-hmm.
I'd still only be able to basically make it halfway across, and then obviously I couldn't reach the rest of the way to clip the other one on.
No, I don't remember your character having particularly long arms.
No, I don't remember that either. Is it possible to attach a tether to another tether to extend the length of them?
You can certainly give it a go.
Liam will look over and say, "Do you wanna? You can always attach to me if you want. You can form like one of those human chains, those dangling monkeys,
That's not a bad idea, actually.
if you want."
If you can stay tethered to the Nakuru, I attach to you, then I set off and kind of pull you out behind me. Then hopefully I'll have a loose end that I can clip onto the ship the other side, onto the Argent.
Yeah, and then Shay, if you wanted, you could unclip me, attach to that clip, and we could all just get pulled across. Easy, right?
And then Shay
What
would
could go
theoretically
wrong?
be able to make it all the way along while permanently attached all the time to Liam.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yep.
Well, in theory, that would work.
Well, I'm game if everyone else is.
Well, give it a shot.
What happens?
What's the worst that can possibly happen?
Exactly. There's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing bad that can happen.
Nothing bad that could happen.
Oh,
And, to be fair, Shay did a very good job parking us completely stationary relative to the ship, so it should all work fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Okay.
So the sequence is...
Right, I'll get my dice ready. Yeah.
Shay's currently attached with 2 tethers to the Nakuru, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone is currently. Yeah.
So I'm going to unattach one of my tethers and attach it to Liam.
Okay. That's fine. That's something you can do. That's not. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. That is.
Okay.
It's depressurized, but it's not an awkward thing to clip. You're still in the relative safety of your own airlock. So yeah, that's not a problem.
All right. Okay. Then with that done, I shall unclip the other of my tethers at the bulkhead end. You understand? So I'm still holding it.
Yeah.
And get ready to jump.
Okie dokie.
And with luck, because there's no gravity at the moment, is there?
No, you've depressurized.
So essentially, if I line myself up so I'm directly in front of Liam and jump towards the opposite airlock, when the tether I have to him snaps tight, he should be pulled straight out of the airlock behind me, but he's still tethered on. And when I get to the other side, 2 lengths of us, plus, the width of him and me, we should be able to hook on to the Argent. That's the theory.
Okie dokie. Good theory. Right, is that how you want to go about it?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Are you happy with this, Liam?
Liam is very happy. The less jumping across voids into space he can do without being tethered to anything, the better.
Right.
In his opinion,
the good news is you
obviously.
don't have to jump. You're literally going to be yanked bodily out of the airlock into deep space.
Yes, but I'll still be tethered, and then making my way the other half, I'll still be tethered again. Seems like a
Exactly.
good plan.
This is why you
He's
never.
had issues.
This is why you never get stress.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just do it. See what happens.
All right.
Okay, we're going to have a series of rolls, okay, which I'll talk through,
Yep.
and then you can talk about it as you go, I guess. The first thing I need you to do then is to make Misha an agility roll. So you've lined yourself up.
Okay.
You've lined yourself up. You've unclipped everything. So you've got the only thing you're clipped to currently is Liam, and you've got your other clip, I guess, in your hand or just dangling or whatever.
I've essentially got a coil of tether in one hand. Yes.
Cool, fantastic.
One end of which is attached to me, and the other end is attached to nothing.
It's very important to make clear of this, yes, so that I don't suddenly be like, aha, but you never attached it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like you to make an agility roll, please.
Agility. So that's 1d6 plus my agility.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's not brilliant. That's a 2 plus 2 is a 4.
Okie dokie. So you take a. Were you going to take just a standing jump, or you could do a bit of a hop across?
I was planning to just do a standing jump from, line myself up and just push away from the airlock. But obviously with a fair amount of speed, so I'd have enough momentum to pull Liam along behind me.
Like you're diving into a pool.
That kind of thing, yeah.
So Mish, you stand on the edge, your toes dangling off just into space, and you push yourself towards the emergency airlock door. Maybe not with two hands, but you push yourself forwards, aiming for straight. And your theory is sound. It's absolutely sound. And as you start to fly across, all you can hear is like your own breathing. It's all very quiet. People are watching you. You're breathing, the humming and bleeping of your spacesuits, the blood rushing through. You're suddenly very aware of that in the silence, and you feel that 1 meter, the meter and a half. Liam, could you roll please for your agility?
Yeah. That's also a 2. We're doing well. +1.
Okay. Now, as you reach that sort of 2 meter mark, suddenly you're jarred somewhat. What should have happened hasn't worked quite as well as you'd hoped, because Liam has missed his cue somewhat. He was sort of not paying as much attention as he was. He was sort of lost in the moment, and and your own jump wasn't quite as spot on as it was, and you're still moving in the direction, but now you're sort of spiraling towards the airlock. You're sort of spinning. What was up is now sort of very quickly becoming 90 degrees and heading into the 170 sort of degrees as Liam is pulled out after you, one of his arms still behind him where he sort of missed his thing. So you're heading towards the airlock, but I really need you to make one more agility, please.
Me?
Yes, please, Misha.
Yep. Okay. I get the feeling this one could matter. Well, it's a 2. Very great consistency I'm getting today, so that's a total of 4.
Nice.
Okay, you're unable to ride it, and you're now spinning a little bit faster, and you've hit the 180, and you're spinning around more. And Liam, could you roll your agility, please?
Yeah. Well, at least I'm not as consistent as Ben. That's a 1. That's a 2.
Now, Liam, as he's sort of tugged across because they've timed it so wrong, is also spinning. He sort of looks back to the open airlock of the Nakuru to see Shay's face. I don't know what sort of expression she's pulling at the minute. Gilly? Watching your 2 crewmates.
Oh. I'm stressed enough as it is.
We're demonstrating exactly how not to do all of these things.
Yes.
And from what you can tell, at this moment, with Liam connected to the Nakuru, his tether, you don't think Misha's going to make it. Not the way he wants to.
Okay. Can I quickly unclip Liam and clip him to me?
You can. I need you to roll a strength. We could go a strength check with that.
Strength.
This could
Oh
go so
god, this is.
Woo.
Oh, I rolled a 3 plus 3 is a 6.
Okay. You manage to get it unclipped just in time, but you don't quite. So that's a successful thing, but you don't quite manage to clip it into your own carabiner. You manage to hook it onto yourself, but it's potentially not as secure as you'd want it to be. But it's on, just not on where training told you for it to be.
Right.
And
Clarson is with us, right?
Yeah, Clarson's right there.
Yeah, okay. So I should probably clip onto Clarson then, shouldn't I?
Is that what we want to do now? Yep.
Well, because otherwise Misha's not going to make it over, is he? So I need to get a move on and jump.
Okie dokie. In which case you need to roll. I'm going to make you, for this one, roll an agility. Because you're not working against the pressure of things now. This is your own one, which isn't taking any pressure at the minute.
Right, I've got a penalty on this, so... Oh, I rolled a 6, though. Plus 3 is a 9.
Nice.
9.
Oh, so that's good. So almost as you, with your strength, managed to force your one sort of carabiner, Liam's carabiner off and kind of tug it onto you. Almost like, that must have been with your left hand, because with your graceful right hand, quick thinking, you clip it off the other, and you just pass it over to Eddie. Just hand it to him, and I need to roll to see if Eddie's paying attention enough.
Is it bad that when you unclipped Liam, I kind of wanted a 1? Just the comedy of us jumping out, it going horribly wrong, and you just going, no, they're goners.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciation from some people.
Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight's Those Dark Places. It's been a wonderful go. Okay, Eddie sees what you're doing, and he grabs hold of it, and he manages to clip it into himself. Quite well, actually. And so are you, in that moment, are you going to put your faith in it all and...
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to get you to roll an agility, please. You might be able to save the whole situation.
Okay.
I mean, that would definitely...
I've rolled a 2, so that's 5.
5, okay. You don't save the whole situation. But what you have done by quite a heroic move, I would say, a quick thinking move, you've allowed a spiralling Misha to crash into the ship about 1.5 meters down from the airlock. So you've missed your aim, but can you roll a strength for me, please, Misha?
A strength? Yes, I can. Okay. This is supposed to be my strength. We'll see. Okay, you see, now I rolled a 6 plus 4 is a 10.
That is good. Sort of, I guess, sort of seeing the heroism of his crew.
Yeah.
An emboldened Misha reaches out, and you manage to grasp sort of a bit of exposed piping, and you'll manage to cling on. You're on with one hand, and your other hand with your clip is free at the minute.
In that case, as soon as I'm remotely stable against it, I'm going to pull myself towards the nearest pad I can find to the on the edge of the airlock.
Yep.
And clip my loose end onto that immediately.
Okay, I'll allow you to do that. I think your strength is good enough. I think that you've proved that you're strong enough to crawl around a meter and a bit.
Okay. Once I know that's properly in, and I've given it an experimental, tug and what have you, and I know it's secure, only then will I turn around and look at the others, particularly Shay, and say, thanks.
Now, Liam can't see you because he's been spun backwards by the whole terrible situation, and he's sort of one leg's pointing off diagonally upwards and an arm's the other way. And but you can see Shay, who's sort of come out, I wouldn't say balletically, but kind of okay. And Eddie is holding on at the other end, sort of You know, like the two of you are holding out washing on a washing line, really, with the other guys hanging off. I do need to make a roll for Shay's her carabiner, though. Bear with me a second.
Oh, yes.
Okay. There's a creaking, and what you sort of pushed it into doesn't seem to be holding it as well as you'd want to, especially with that pressure of that sudden Misha against it. There's a bit of a jarring, and it looks like it's starting to pull away from what you'd hastily pushed it into. You've got a bit of time, but time is of the essence.
Okay. Is there any way I can clip it onto something more secure?
I'll tell you what, you can. I would let you do it, but it will be a agility, but a tough one. You would need to hit. If you're going to take it off and do it, you're going to need to hit an 8.
Okay, so I need a 5 or above.
Yeah, but you can do it if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to do it, you can.
Well, I'm going to try.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no.
What did you... One.
Oh,
Okay, as you're sort of trying to clip it on, you're trying to find where it should be. There's sort of the gentle spinning of Liam, gazing at you with horrified eyes, sort of tugs away a little bit, and it's all you can do to grab onto it with your hand and sort of wrap it. You know, like when you've got hold of something, you sort of manage to twist your wrist and wrap it around the wrist.
Yeah.
And that is now how you're attached with that one. That's how you're now attached to Liam.
Okay. I think we need a quick pull across, don't we?
Yeah. Liam is currently still attached to the Nakuru by his other tether.
Clarkson is, yeah.
No, Liam is.
No, Liam's in the middle.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
attached
but
to you.
he had 2 tethers attached to the Nakuru.
Yeah, well, you took one, and Shay grabbed the other one.
Yeah.
No, Liam was attached by my other tether, not his other tether.
That's long gone. He wouldn't be that far across if that was the case.
Oh, okay. All right. Then yes, we've got to pull Liam across now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. I'll yell to Shay. Okay, let him go. I've got him.
Okay.
Which would
Right.
leave Shay dangling with Clarkson.
Yeah, we want Clarkson to unattach, and then we can all come across, right? You can just pull us all across.
Yeah, but we can't do that at the moment because currently Shay is only holding on to Liam's tether.
Yeah. So you
So
need to
let's
pull
get-
Liam across, and Clarkson
get
will have
Liam
to pull me
across.
back.
And then we can try the same maneuver again, only this time with the 2 of us able to go out and meet.
Okay.
I'm not wild about the idea that 2 of them come across only attached by Shay's fingers to the maneuver.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okie dokie.
Liam won't point out that, in fact, Shay detached us completely, and at one brief moment we were just floating off into into space, as
No,
this
don't
is
point that out,
suggesting.
no.
I won't point it out.
No. No need.
Not in game, anyway.
Okay. Misha, I'm going to let you choose strength or agility and how you're going to go about this.
Oh, I think that's a no-brainer for me. I am going to apply main force, maximum effort.
Okie dokie. And if you're just pulling Liam across, that's not too tough. So it'd have been for each person, it would have been a little bit tougher, if that makes sense. But for Liam, just give it a roll for me, please. You only need to hit a 6.
Right. So I've got to roll for my strength, yes?
Yes, please. So it's like you're tugging Liam over.
Well, it's a good job I only had to hit a 6, because that's 3 plus 4, 7.
Okay, so as Shay manages to let go, not rip her wrist open with it, she sort of sees Liam hoiked away, sort of backwards, still facing her, over to Misha, and I guess because of that low roll, Liam, I suppose I better ask you whether you're going to go for strength or agility.
I would go for strength.
Okay, give it a roll for me then, please.
That's a 5 plus 3. That's an 8.
And that's fine. As you sort of come over, sort of half with your own grabbing and half with Misha's, you're able to sort of be pulled in to where Misha is. And the two of you are there, holding on to the side of the airlock. With
Right.
with
Now,
Shay
you,
being
Liam, now
held
have a
by...
loose end to your tether. The one that Shay was holding on to.
Yes. So,
So
if I
you
clip
can
on.
now hook up to the Argent.
Yeah, which he will do, and he'll pat Misha on the shoulder and say thanks. It's going well.
It's flawless so far. Flawless execution.
Right, I'm on, I think.
Right. Now we know Shay is properly attached to Eddie.
Yep, and Eddie's still attached to the Nakuru.
Right. So if Shay's psychology will allow her, she can jump straight across and we can catch her.
If you reach out, there is a chance, yeah. If he's happy to be pulled out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to need to roll for Eddie as well for his timing. But, yeah, Shay, if you're willing to roll your agility. And depending on how you do, will depend on what you two have to roll for your strength.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, can't believe it. I've rolled another 1.
Oh.
So that's 4.
4. Okay, Liam and Misha, could you both roll strength for me, please?
Yep, absolutely. Come on.
Class
Dice from the pocket.
and rolled well though, so you don't have to hit an 8, you have to hit a 7.
5 plus 4 is a 9
Oh,
for
you've
me.
nailed it. That's all right.
Mine's a 2 plus 3 is a 5. I'm running out of space in my dice rehab center.
it's full of dice. It's worked out well though. As Shay throws herself forwards, not brilliantly, a bit skew-if, Misha is able to grab firmly onto sort of her shoulder as she spins towards and pull her towards. Eddie, I've got to decide for Eddie. Eddie, seeing what's happened, as he goes, he unclips his backup and flies across with. And he's pulled. So his backup's still dangling from the Nakuru, and he makes it across. Well, he sort of crashes into the back of Shay and grabs something. He rolled very well. He's rolled better than all of you put together.
I'm going to unclip the distal end of my tether from Liam.
Yep.
Clip it to Shay, so she's now attached through me directly to the Argent.
Yep. That's cool. So we've got a chain of Misha, Shay, Argent, Misha, Shay. Liam's attached to...
Liam's attached to the Argent anyway. Yeah.
Argent, and Clarson's on the Argent as well. So you're all
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Well done, guys. Excellent work.
Thank you, Shay. That could have gone horribly badly wrong.
Right, I need you to make a note of something, if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
Could you please write oxygen 100?
Is this all of us?
Yes, please.
Under notes.
Yes, please. And then could you put a line through 100 and change it to 95?
Oh,
Yes.
good.
There was a lot of puffing and panting and quick breathing in that. Thank you. Okay. That's nothing to worry about. Right. So you're there.
Feels like nothing to worry about somehow. I don't know. It just feels like the kind of thing you can just take completely for granted and nothing will ever go wrong.
It's just... I'm a mathematician. I just like there being numbers. It's any excuse for numbers. Okay, you are now all rammed up against the emergency airlock of the Argent 3, which is not the most lovely place to be. It looks knackered. It looks sort of a bit burnt. Goodness knows how. It looks like it's been beaten in a little bit round the, sort of not the airlock itself, but around the edges. It's a little bit oozy, just off to the side. Bit of that green ooze. But the airlock is there, and the door appears to be functioning.
Okay. I guess I'm going to try and examine the airlock and see if I can get it open, at least the outside of it.
In what order do you want to examine or try and open? Do you want me to explain how the airlock looks to you? Would that be helpful?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a quick look over. I mean, this is old tech as far as I'm concerned, isn't it? I mean, ancient, potentially.
It is. We're talking like
So
almost...
I'm going to give it a thorough once over before I actually start pushing buttons.
We're almost looking like an old handle, almost like you'd use to get into an old truck almost, at the back.
Yeah.
An old handle down, which is the door, heavy, like opening the back of a big lorry. Down. There's a small panel with some old style keyboard pressing buttons, keyboard from the 80s, big clicky buttons. That looks pretty dead, but everything looks to be in order. There's a small window in. It's dark inside, but you can see it is indeed an empty airlock.
Okay, so there's just enough light looking through the window to see that the airlock's empty.
Yeah, the airlock's empty.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sort of turn to everyone else and say, so, shall we? And grab hold of the handle.
Okay. Could you...
Yeah, I had a feeling that would be a problem.
just make a strength roll, please.
A strength roll.
Yeah.
Happy to make strength rolls all night.
I thought you
Until
might
that
be.
one comes up, of course. On the subject of which, that's a 1, so a total of 5.
Okay. You pull at the handle to pull it open, and it does appear to be unlocked. It's just you just can't get the angle right. It's catching on something. Doing it by yourself. Clarkson leans over. He says, "Do you want a hand? Should we do it together?"
Sure, why not?
Okay. And he's
always happy to work with you, Eddie.
He sort of gives you a gruff harumph. Ah, welcome, Sparrow, with the most important part of the game.
Oh, thank you, Sparrow. Perfect timing and so sensitive to my wishes.
I like to think that he's looking out through the camera from the Nakuru, seeing what's going on, praying for you if androids pray. Okay. Eddie leans in with you, grabs the bottom side of the handle as you're pulling, and the two of you together, his added to yours, get it open. It just swings open. It's depressurized inside, and quickly look around the edge. There's a seal in it. It looks like it's working okay, just that it wasn't locked.
You do mean rubber seal, not performing seal, right?
No, I meant the singer.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Gonna give a cursory glance around the seals on the outer door as well before I go in, just to make sure that when we pull this door shut, it'll seal properly and pressurize.
The seals are absolutely fine.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to gently pull myself inside.
And just as you pull yourself, Infinite Monkey Tails are raiding. Hey guys, you alright? Welcome. We're 50 minutes in and they've just managed to get through an airlock door. After dangling out in space like a bunch of little monkeys on a line. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate it, and hope you had a really good session.
We do indeed. We do indeed.
Okay, carrying on. Okay, so it's all clear inside. Did you say you were going in? Sorry, I got excited by the raiders.
Yeah. I'm slipping inside the airlock.
Okie dokie.
Not at any insane speed, you understand. Just pulling my way through gently.
Well, and as you pull your way in gently, you also pull Shay in gently, as she's still attached to you.
That's true.
So I hope you're wanting to go in as well.
Yep, that's fine. I'll be pulled.
Okay. And as you, so the two of you head in, and you're floating around in the airlock. which looks actually, I wouldn't say pleasant, but pleasingly not nasty compared to some of the other ship that you've seen. It seems usable. It seems okay. Like it's not been used that much for a while. Seems all right.
All right is exceptional as far as I'm concerned in the situation. All right is a stretch goal. Okay. I'm going to get the pair of us inside as situated as we can, and then presumably start pulling Eddie in as well.
Cool. Yep. Eddie's happy to come in. He's right next to the door anyway, so just pulls his way in. That's not a problem. He's in there. Immediately sort of goes over to the other door to sort of try and have a peek through there, just to sort of stay on his toes, as it were. Sort of clips himself all together again. So he's only got his one clip now, which he sort of carefully clips to himself. And he's sort of floating at the back of the airlock.
Lovely. So that's all of us except Liam inside, right?
Yeah, good time to close the door, I think.
I feel that's harsh.
I mean, do we want someone outside, just keeping an eye on things and making... Because I'm not volunteering, but I'm the only one left out here, so... He'll gauge the silence and walk inside.
There's a
Floating
look
inside.
dimension.
Yeah.
Oh. Okie dokie. The four of you are inside the emergency airlock, bobbing around.
Okay. We will do whatever we have to do in order to anchor inside the airlock and then remove the clips and tethers from outside so we can close the door.
Mm-hmm. I'll allow that. That's not a problem. You're all pretty secure now that the first little burst of panic is gone. So
Yeah,
your hearts
the
are
theory
easing
is
a little bit.
as long as we keep our wits about us, so we're always attached by something to something, we should be fine. And then I will give main effort to pulling the door shut and closing the handle again.
Do you want to do it alone, or do you want someone to help you?
I guess I'll try it alone. If I have problems, I'll yell that I need help.
Okay. I'm kidding with you. It's fine. It's fine. You got a better angle. You don't need to roll. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like keeping you on edge.
Okay.
The door slams shut. Well, as the doors can in depressurized space, and you seal it all up. It all looks good, and yeah, there you are in a closed-in room on the Argent 3.
Okay.
Is this the engine? Is this the engine room? We're in the engine room, aren't we? Should we just leave the beacon and go? Anyone?
Yeah. Where exactly did you get your science qualification, Liam?
Well, I mean, it's not in engineering, which I can only assume is to do with engines qualification.
Sure. Let's go with that. I'd like to check the inside door and find out if there's any kind of meter on it that suggests the interior of the ship is actually pressurized or not.
Oh. Take an education roll for me, please.
An education roll?
Yes, please.
Oh, this will end poorly.
He studied
fair,
at the Open
education's
University,
free, it's not
Smith.
terrible.
The Open University. Was it the University of Manitoba?
It was a correspondence course.
Yeah.
Bob's School of Engineering.
Yeah.
Right, that's a 4 plus 3, so a 7.
Okay. So what you can tell from the inside door, there is some controls that seem to be on. That the inside is pressurized. That there appears to be some amount of atmosphere in there. And that you can't just open this door and go in without pressurizing.
Yeah, without cycling the lock. Okay, so is it like atmospheric pressure or is it just some pressure?
I don't know. You have to. You can't tell that much. There's pressure.
Okay.
Negative pressure.
So This is presumably where I get to use my pressure bonus and pressure level in order to pressurize the airlock, right?
I made a mistake in Manitoba. It's because the person that lived here before used to get letters from the University of Manitoba, but the letters it came from, they looked really dodgy, and I never knew. I'm not educated enough to know. Sorry, Javril.
Never judge a letter by its cover. Isn't that the same?
The letter kept having typos and things. It's like, oh, not that I was reading the letter, the outside, the envelope. So, okay. Tell the University of Manitoba they need to improve their envelope writing. Not who am I to judge? I'm not good enough to get into a prestigious establishment. That's why I'm stuck playing with these 3 people on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Yes, it's true.
Exactly. Roll another education roll for me, please, Ben.
Okay. Oh, that did not go well. That's 1 + 3, 4.
Okay, you look over the pressurization control panel with a few bits and pieces. You can't quite recognise it. It sort of uses different terminology to what you're used to, and the buttons are in different places. There's a button that looks big and red, which looks important, and there's some numbers.
Wow, I really did study hard, didn't I? I point this out to other people. You see here, there's a panel with numbers, also buttons. Anyone got any ideas? Apparently, I can't work the airlock.
Ed will swing past me. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Good liaison work, Liam.
Liaising with buttons is it's half the qualification, actually. Do you want to do the honours, Misha?
Sure. I'll give it a shot. So is this education again?
No, it does. You're pressing a button. I'll allow it.
Okay, pressing a button. I press a button.
Your colours not colourblind, are they?
No.
Okay, then they're all right. You press the button, and you feel that sort of hissing, the pushing in of air that fills the room. It is indeed the button for pressurising the room, which is good. So you feel that thing. Your weightlessness sort of drops, and you sort of land down onto the floor. Most of you on your feet, and yeah, it is pressurised, and a light on the door flashes, signifying that it is unlocked. You can read that. Hey, Socks, you alright? You're doing good. So, welcome to the ship.
Okay. I obviously say, I feel last time I went first.
I'll go if you want.
Well volunteered.
There's anything to liaise with, I suppose.
And you worked out the button.
Oh, I'm going to try and use the well if you're making one. You're going to need to offer if anyone else wants to go before you, Liam, as you're going.
Oh, really? Okay, sure. Unless I'll go. Unless anyone else. Eddie, Shane.
Eddie.
I'm sure Eddie would love the chance to step up.
Eddie pulls out his shotgun and holds it, and he says, "It's all right, Liam. I've got your back. I'll make sure nothing scary gets you."
That's good because all I've got is this beacon.
No, Eddie manages half a smile. No, Liam, you don't have the beacon. You are the beacon.
Be the beacon.
Be the beacon.
So basically, we've agreed to send the unarmed person out first.
Yeah. He is armed with an averagely silver tongue.
True.
Hard your real nose.
Yeah.
At this point, thanks, Laser Skeleton. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you in, actually. Thank you for messaging, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the mistakes they're making. I'm assuming at this moment, as no one said anything, you've still got your suits on, helmets on at this point.
Yes.
Liam has.
Okay. Eddie sort of holds his hand out, not for it to take, but as a this way to Liam. Says, "After you, Daturi."
And Liam goes, "Did the door open, or is it just pressurised?"
You can open it. I'm not going to make you roll anything. It's the pressure's the same on the inside now. It's not going to be an effort.
There's enough dangerous things to worry about without opening doors.
Yeah.
He'll open the door and he'll walk straight through.
Oh.
Look around.
Okay. So the as you go through into the corridor, as you can see in the plan, your spacesuits start pinging. They register a breathable atmosphere. It's thin, pretty thin, but it is breathable. The gravity registers as 1G, and you can feel it in your feet. It's what you're used to. It's standard. You're not going to float around. You're walking. Perfect conditions in that regard. The air, you can just sense it on your on your helmet. Immediately, it's fogging. There's a lot of moisture in the air. It's quite dank, and sort of immediately you're having to like rub at the sides as it sort of. The glasses wearers will know what I'm talking about. It's like you've just opened the oven.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you're having to rub it off a little bit. And as you walk through the door, that's the first things you notice.
Okay. Our objective is engineering. All we got to do, therefore, is turn right, bear left.
Bear! Liam jumps at it.
That's coming soon.
Ghost bears.
Bear left a bit, down to the end. Turn on the beacon, open the door, throw the beacon through the door, retreat, and get off, right?
That makes sense to me. Sounds about right.
So immediately that raises a concern for me, which is that someone should stay at the junction just in case there's something weird and futuristic that Maitland Utani Corporation have sent us to deal with.
Yeah, I'm happy to stay behind.
It's
right here.
Someone should stay at the airlock as well, I feel. Not that I'm volunteering, but if we're staying behind.
Oh, everyone's going roboty. Bear with me a second. Let me see if I can fix it. That's weird though. It's very atmospheric. Really atmospheric. It's like I planned it. Communications are going bad. Hang on a sec.
I don't know if that was just Luke or was that a message in there?
I'm going to switch headphones because everything runs through my end, and if it's my headphones dying, then that might, because the feed seems to be what comes through my headphones. Right. That's better. Can everyone hear okay? Can you hear? Can everyone hear me?
Okay. And am I still roboty?
Yeah.
No, you're all perfect now. These headphones, to be fair, the copper's showing. They were on their way out, which is a shame because they're lovely headphones. They're absolutely really good. R.I.P. the headphones. Is everyone else okay? In chat, can you hear it okay? I always sound fine, Fitz, thanks. The copper's showing, exactly. Oh, R.I.P. the headphones. Okay, so yeah, sorry, carry on. So you've stepped out and you're making plans.
So, yeah, we're going to leave someone by the airlock door, is that right?
No, well, I was only jesting. I've obviously got the beacon, so I'm happy to...
Well, how about you and I head to the engineering door, the other two stay at that junction, so that if anything's coming down the corridor or through the recycling centre hatch, they can yell out and let us know it's coming.
Makes sense. Luke, quick question out of game.
Yes.
How long does the helmet take to put on and take off?
Seconds.
And if I take my helmet off, can I preserve oxygen?
Yes. You will not be breathing the suit's oxygen.
Liam was saying, is it worth taking these off and saving them if we need them for an emergency?
Rainy day.
I mean, I think we should definitely keep an eye on the level and make sure we've got 10 or 15 minutes to get home, yeah. But I'm a bit worried about the atmosphere here.
Clearly, you know much more about science than I do. So I will...
To the amount of one, apparently.
It's a significant amount. You are, in fact, the science officer. I will follow your direction. That makes perfect sense to me. As long as we're, still doing all right.
Yeah. Okay. That's what we're going to try.
So you're keeping your helmets on? It's something I need to take note of. Yep.
For the moment, yeah.
Okay. Right, then I'd like you all to drop your oxygen by another 2, please. So you should all be on 93.
Cool. Is that a plan? Eddie, Shay, are you happy at the junction, or would you rather...
Yep.
Eddie, so I'm fine. I'm fine covering anything. Bear in mind you've just got one weapon with you, yeah. Just keep an eye out. Misha, keep an eye on Liam. Keep him safe, yeah. You got.
That's the plan.
Good stuff. Then Shay and I will keep an eye down the other corridor. Give you a yell if
We've got your back.
if these bears are coming.
Yeah.
Liam will look at Eddie and say, "Covering anything. Remind me of that when we hit port and the bar tab comes up."
Well, if you're buying.
Sorry, Ben. Too far.
Okay. Then I'm going to take out the pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Take a firm grip of it, and begin carefully making my way towards the hatch directly into engineering.
Okay, so it's the scale of the thing is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's about 30, 40 metres down there. It's not a little wonder, and it is quite dark. The walls on the way to engineering are covered in mould, like nasty, like slippery. Not that you're touching it, but slippery looking, gnarly mould. The inside of it's grotesque. The inside of there's just something about it. It's just nasty. The panelling down the side, especially down this corridor, it's really it's torn, bent out of shape. Like panels have been ripped out. There's wires hanging out here and there that have been sort of the wires themselves have sort of been cut and pulled apart. Could you, both of you, roll an education roll, please?
Yeah. Yeah, let's try.
And you can both have science, because you've both got +1 to your science.
Ooh.
Okay. So that's 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7.
I'm feeling very generous right now. Exactly. I've lived in worse, Laser, in my university house.
I rolled a 5 plus 5.
Wow.
That's a 10.
Fantastic. Well, that's enough. Liam, you notice that all that sort of pulling apart looks like it's been a result of prolonged stress, and that the growth is beyond both of you. But the wires in that look like it's been apparent attempts at sort of patching failing systems. Okay, so over a period of time, you sort of looking close, you see the telltale sign of gaffer tape the old whiff of WD-40 in the air still. You know, where bits of wires have been replaced or stripped back and twisted together down there. The main lighting, it's hard to tell. The main lights are dead. You've just got that sort of backup strip lighting, the little sort of yellow bulbs every sort of like 5 to 10 metres down that way. Shay, could you roll for me, please? Could you roll let's go... Ooh. Education, please.
Yep. Oh no. Okay. I've rolled a 2, so that's a 4.
Okey-dokey. You're sort of looking down around you, and you sort of see the same sort of gloop and goo and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's an unpleasant place. Everything feels slightly warped because of that pull-out. It's sort of although the floor's flat, it doesn't seem it, if that makes sense, because the way things have been pulled out and that.
Mm-hmm.
Very disorientating. Are you continuing to walk down to the end, guys?
Yeah, I mean, we have a mission, and much as it's a terrible mission, it is the mission.
Okay. As you continue to walk, you pass the lights. The lights as you further get down are sort of getting greener, that a sickly sort of greenish tint, where the mould has sort of been smeared over the fittings, you know, and it's sort of grown and sort of spread over there. So it's getting darker and darker.
Yep.
What you notice is there's no sound. You'd normally get that background hum of the engines, but the power output there's so low, even that close to sort of engineering, that there isn't really any of that. Not even like the faint vibrations you'd normally get. The ship just feels really alien for a human ship. And you only know human ships. There are only human ships, you know, but it just feels strange.
Okay. So we're most of the way to the door now, aren't we?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Going to get close enough to be able to examine it without touching it. But before I even, do anything more than just keep my eyes open, I'm going to call back to Shay and say, everything look okay back there? We're at the door.
Yep, it's all looking fine at the moment.
Okay. Liam, that beacon ready?
Yeah, it's ready to go. Can I get it to the point where it's, like one button push away from broadcasting?
Yeah, it's like a beep, beep, beep. Ready to press the last one? Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll untether from it as well, so I'm just carrying it. Drop it and then run away and... yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. I'm going to try
Yeah.
to open the door with one hand if possible while keeping the other hand firmly on the pistol.
Okay, roll strength for me, please.
Yep. That's a 4 + 4 is 8.
Okay. You push against the door, and it doesn't open. It gives a little, but it feels like it's been locked from the other side. That there's something barring it, something in the way.
Okay. I'm going to let everyone know, because presumably we're talking through radio at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So I'm going to just let everyone know. We're not getting through this door without cutting it, which means I have a horrible feeling we may have to go round.
I don't suppose we brought anything to cut it, did we? I mean, I certainly didn't.
No, nothing that'll be getting through that.
Eddie?
No.
No, I was making notes. No.
Yeah, let's... anyone else got any other ideas.
I'm going to shrug as expressively as it is possible to do in a spacesuit, and say, let's head back and regroup by the junction.
As you're approaching, Shay, could you roll education for me, please?
Yep. Oh, that's a 6 plus, I think it's 2. Yeah, plus 2. That's 8.
8. Nice. While you're stood there, you're sort of, I guess you're sort of looking down the corridor and that, and you're sort of keeping an eye out with Eddie. Was the plan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You see the doors next to you. Each have a small window in them. The one right next to you, so what you'd assume is the recycling centre, the one that you'd assume to be Longsleep 2 from the plan you saw back on the Nakuru. You can't see the bridge is a long way away. You know, it's harder to make out that door at this point because that's a good 50, 60 metres down there. But you can see there as,
Okay. Can I have a little peek through the window of the recycle centre?
You can have a little peek through the window of the recycle centre. You approach the window. Eddie sort of looks over. He's like, what are you doing, Shay?
I'm just having a little peek. Calm down.
Okay, don't do anything stupid.
Just having a little look.
Okay. I don't want to be having to take ownership of those stilts of yours.
You wish.
I do actually. Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
You peek through the window and it's partly covered in the sort of the green mouldy goo again. You can either look at it as it is, or you can attempt to clear it away, or it's up to you.
No, there is no way I'm touching that. I haven't got the education to know what that is. So.
Okay.
Have you ever seen anything like this before, Eddie?
Yes. I've never seen anything like it. It's not often that you sort of come across strange green goo. Most of my time is spent lifting stuff from one ship and putting it in another ship and going home again. This is new to me. So I can tell you what.
It could have been orange goo.
Oh, yeah. That's a weekly thing. Orange goo. Never lick orange goo. That's what I'll tell you. Right, I can tell you what you can see with the goo. So you can. It's almost like looking a bit through sort of underwater, a bit through smoke, kind of thing. You know, so you can pick it out. You see shadows of these huge barrels, which is where traditionally, and it's still kind of used a bit somewhat nowadays for you guys in the huge ships, so the human water would be siphoned into these huge barrels. The ones that you can tell here look dirty and mouldy, from what you can tell, and they all look. There's more than one type of recycling unit. It looks like they've been, they don't all quite fit, if that makes sense. Could you roll an education, please? I'll give you, because it's to do with health and things like that, I will give you medical. Because it's to do with poo and wee and things like that, right? See, this is why...
Such an expert.
This is why you've got to run the team.
Field.
You're coming into your own now.
Well... Okay. Oh no, that's a 1 + 1, 2, 4. 4.
Okay. All you can tell is that the units are all sort of a mishmash, and one looks pretty recent, much more recent than 100 years ago.
All right. Okay.
It's smaller than the others as well. Okay, much more portable, I guess, than the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's what you can see through that window. It's a growth market, caveman. There's always going to be poo, there's always going to be wee.
Yeah.
It's true.
But
Especially where long sleep is concerned.
Exactly. It always needs to be cleaned up. Exactly right, Ben. And that's why Shay's on the crew. Not at all for your flying abilities, but
No, not at all. No.
okay. There's other than that, it's what you'd expect. I guess it's older than what you'd expect, of course, what you're used to. But it's just it's those big machines recycling human stuff into drinkable water, usable water for heating system, all that sort of stuff, really.
Okay. Just a bit knackered.
Yeah, and it's a big room. It's a huge room. It's like 30 meters across and 50 meters long. It's big because it was a big ship with a lot of people on.
Yeah. Also, it's where they kept their tennis court. No.
So it's useful to have it. Okay. Right, at this point, the other two, if you get back, Misha and Liam have arrived back just as you're peering through the murky gloom of the window.
Okay. We've got to get into engineering, right?
Yes.
And we all know there's another door into engineering. And they've conveniently located it as far as it is physically possible away from where we are right now. So I'm going to make a suggestion. I'm going to pop my helmet, and because I'm not the medical person, and we might need a medical person, and go off suit oxygen for a few minutes. Find out if I can breathe it, and if I can, whether or not it'll, make me cough and splutter and give me horrible reactions, okay?
Okay.
Because I think we're going to be here for a while now.
Speaking of which, can you all go down to 91, please?
Can indeed. Liam will just say, what about the long term? Because long term effects. I mean, not long term, but what if 2 weeks time when we're further down the space road, some issues come up.
I mean,
again, you're the scientist. I'm not.
No, I think that's a legitimate concern. Very legitimate concern. But I have a horrible feeling we're going to get to the point where we may have to make decisions based on whether or not we can pop open our helmets with, 5 minutes left on our tanks. And if it's accept the risk of breathing something toxic that'll kill us in a fortnight, or we just definitely die immediately through running out of air. I mean,
Yeah, sure. What about other ways? What about other ways into engineering? Has anyone seen any? Have we seen any air vents on our walk around?
Not so much, no.
Okay.
Not so far. Not so far. I know that is Misha's, that's where he feels most comfortable, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we could get Evan over here. We could, make a thing of it.
Blowing those spores around.
I mean, although I will say, Misha, the scientist in me is really tempted to take a sample of this back to the ship. Some alien mold. It's not yet been discovered. We could work out its, reproductive time and how much of it there is on the ship generally, and find out where the ship's been. Discover a whole new world full of mold.
I mean, you're absolutely right. We obviously could, but we're not getting paid for that. And they are supposed to send out a team following the beacon, aren't they?
That is true. You're saying it's not our job?
Well, I'm saying it's not our job until they offer us lots and lots of time for it.
Sure. Sure. Right then, which...
Okay, I'm going to try something insanely risky here and pop open my helmet.
Okie dokie. You click the helmet open, and you lift it off your head, and at that point I need a 2-minute break to get a glass of water. If that's okay. Just a 2 minute. Just a 2-minute though. I'm just really thirsty. Okay. Sorry everyone. We're just gonna do a quick 2-minute break. So don't go anywhere, anyone. Feel free to quickly jump up, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just 2, because we're not going to stay here late tonight. Right, let me put some music on. Okay. Cool. Sorry guys. I'm really gasping.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Sorry everyone. It was a lemon squash. In fact, it was a lie, a ruse all along. I knew you wouldn't trust me if I went for the lemon squash. Okay, you take your helmet off, and are you taking a breath?
For a second, I'm going to hold my breath.
Yep.
Just to see if I feel any tingling on the skin or anything first.
The water is false. Shay, could you roll a medical check for me, please?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
That's a 6. Plus what did I have for medical?
A 1.
A 1. So that's a 7.
Okay. He doesn't look like he's going wrong.
Any more than usual?
Anyway, yeah, same old Misha. Okay. You taking a little breath?
Yeah.
Okay. The air tastes. The air is thin. You take the little breath and it's nowhere near enough. You know, back on the Nakura you could do that and you'd be okay. Here, it's like a quarter of what you're expecting to take in.
Okay.
Just on that little breath.
And does it smell reasonably clean and fresh, or is there an odour or anything like that?
It's a bit stinky. There's that smell of sort of kind of rot and a bit mouldy, but it's not oppressively so. It doesn't feel like a billion spores barreling their way down your throat as you breathe.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna put the helmet back on.
Mm-hmm.
And start going back onto suit oxygen again.
Okay.
and then I'm going to report to everyone. In an emergency, it's breathable. So if we can keep like 15 minutes minimum when our oxygen hits, say, I don't know, 25%, maybe something like that. Maybe at that point we have to pop our helmets so we'll have enough for the trip back to the ship. But let's not use it unless we have to. It's very thin. It'll probably affect our judgment. It'll reduce our alertness, and I mean, it's not good.
So we'll save that for when we're in an emergency situation. Sound. So the other way, I guess.
Yeah. With all due respect to Liam's extraordinary boldness and courage, I have a feeling he should probably not go first because he's unarmed.
Clarson will. Clarson sort of bodes
Really?
forward, says, yeah, I'll do it. We've got it's a slightly different plan to what we're expecting, I guess, and I'm happy to lead us through. I guess what way do you want to go? Should we go straight to the end, or should we cut through?
We're not aware of anywhere we can cut through, are we?
No, he just means going to like long sleep briefing, which isn't a shortcut as such. It's just more rooms, or straight to the end, straight to the bridge.
I mean, is it just me who thinks the fewer doors we open, the better?
I am in full agreement with that.
I agree. To the bridge.
To the bridge.
Take us. Take it to the bridge, Eddie.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should at least take a good long examine through the window to Long Sleep 2 as we go past, though.
Have a little peek.
Well, extra information is always good, right?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So as you walk up towards a Long Sleep 2, there are a couple of the portal windows. It's a bigger door, so you've got a couple of windows. Does anyone in particular want to look through? Clarson's not interested.
I won't. Or Liam won't, I should say.
I'll have a look. I had a look at the recycling centre and there wasn't a lot going on there.
Okay. Again, there's the green mould. Are you willing to peek through what you can see? Or
Yep.
Hey Kelly, you alright? Welcome. You join us for the last sort of half hour probably for tonight. How you doing? Doing good, I hope. Okay, so you peer through the murky green, and could you roll? Oh, actually, this would be good. Could you roll a medic and education check for me, please?
Medic and education.
Yeah, good choice of person.
It's 3, 4. That's a 6 again.
A 6 again. Oh, good choice of person. Bad skills. You didn't go to the University of Manitoba.
No.
Okay.
Not of that ilk.
Not of that ilk. At least I was eating the green mould, thank goodness. I'd be worried about you if you were those sort of players.
You never know. It could make good cheese.
Oh! Why do you think I asked you the question at the start of the session?
It's all coming
It's
together.
all coming round.
The long game, Luke.
Just putting things in the mind. Okay, you peer through the murky window. It's a big long room. Again, it's a good 50 metres long. Sort of 25, 30 metres deep. What you can make out, you can probably see, because of the murkiness, you can see the left-hand side of the room. Because of the angle and the murkiness, that sort of the right side of long sleep 2, you can't. It just becomes murky and dark. What you can see is a number of broken long sleep pods. Sort of on. You can see the ones on the far wall, and you can kind of make out one to the right of the door at this end. They're an older design that wasn't intended for long-term use. You know, the ones that don't stop you from aging, but just sort of slow it down a bit. You know, that's that sort of thing. 100-year-old technology when this was really starting out. The passengers would sleep suspended in liquid, not just wake up in liquid, but actually, they would sort of go into a body temperature liquid, and they'd be piped up and tubed up. It was much more of a. You'll have read about it in your medical books, the history of it. The people actually piped up into it properly, much more than just plugged in. But inside these pods, which are empty of people, there are sort of wilting plants that are surrounded by heat lamps. But they all look pretty thin and wiry. They look close to death. You know, a couple have gone already. A couple, from what you can tell, are sort of clinging onto a couple of green leaves. But they don't look healthy. And just at the edge of your vision, you can see the edge of some vats that appear to be bubbling. But you can't. Bubbling vats. That's all you can tell. That's all you can see. Just your average bubbling vat.
Long abandoned ship with bubbling vats on it.
Bubbling vats. I mean, that's where we'd expect to find them, right? If you're gonna have a bubbling vat anywhere, it's gonna be in your long sleep.
Oh God. This is all looking so positive, isn't it?
I suggest we don't even go in there. Never trust a bubbling vat.
I'm with you, Shay. Bubbling vats to be avoided unless they're in the process of making beer.
Oh yes.
Well.
Okay. So let's ignore long sleep 2 and press boldly and courageously, in fact, on to the door to the bridge.
Yeah.
You're so brave. Clarkson bravely
And bold.
Clarkson bravely leads the way down, and it's more of the same. It's that sort of that dark corridor. It's twisted, disconcerting. Considering it's a straight corridor, it feels anything but. It feels like you're almost doing right angles at times. Your brain is sort of contorted with it. There's things pulled out, more of the same you've seen before. The lights are smeared with more of this mould, so it's giving off that greenish hue. You reach up to the pressurised umbilical, which is shut. Seems sturdy from what you can tell, and you make it to the bridge door at the end.
Okay. Is anyone else thinking that the way this place is a bit twisted and messed with, has this ship been like spaghettified or something at some point? Did it get too close to a black hole or get sucked through something?
No, we're just a bit disorientated, aren't we? From the combination of the light and the vastness of such an empty ship, and the horrors of the jumping across the. Maybe you've taken in some spores when you took your helmet off.
Could be. Also, even if we knew the answer to that definitively, it would in no way help us with our mission. So, bridge door. Whose turn is it?
Liam feels satisfied that he's done his liaison job, which is also part counsellor / man management, talking Misha down from any conspiracy theories about black holes and twisted chips.
Yeah.
If my pressure will allow, I suppose it's my turn.
Okay. The door appears to have a very standard handle, and it has a screen, a window screen in the bridge, again covered in mould, and it looks like a relatively straightforward door to open.
Okay, has it got a window?
It does have a window, again smeared in mould.
I'll see what I can see, if anything.
You can please roll for me an education.
That's a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
It looks very black inside. Either it is dark or there's something covering it.
Well, that's reassuring. I suppose I'll keep one hand on my pistol and just try and open it if I can.
Okay. Can you each take 2 oxygen off, please?
Yep.
Can indeed.
89.
And obviously, I will try and cover with my own pistol as Shay opens the door.
Okay. Carson will go down on sort of a knee to have a low look up with his shotgun pointed in.
Yeah, just careful of my shins, Clarson.
Well, as long as no one nudges me, I'll be all right. Okay. Do you want to burst in with strength and power, or do you want to ease it in with finesse and carefulness?
I will ease in with finesse and carefulness.
Okay. Well, it's classic Shay. Could you please... Could you... Not charismatically, though. It is I! Could you roll an agility for me, please?
Yep. That's a 6 because I rolled a 3.
That's right. Okay. So as you ease down and carefully try and ease it out, you get it open okay, but you're unable to stop it squeaking and scraping a little bit as it opens. How far are you looking to open it? All the way, or what are you thinking?
I'll do just a crack at first, just so I can see in there, just in case it was covered.
Okie dokie. It was covered. It's dark in there, but it's not black.
Okay. Do we have any torches or anything?
You will have connected to your connected to the suits.
Okay. Maybe it's time to turn it on then.
That does seem like a path of wisdom.
There's a first time for everything.
Until you find out you've got to make a roll to turn your torch on. Yeah.
I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean.
Which way's up?
The torch runs on oxygen.
You have to take your helmet off to turn the torch on.
I'm more worried about what the light might attract, to be honest, but sure.
Okay.
If it can also be a roll we can fail and it can use up our oxygen, that's just perfect.
Okay. You flip the torch on. So from the angle you're at, what sort of angle do you want to start by pointing your torch in and around that? Are you going straight ahead, trying to get around the corner, going high, going low? What do you want to start?
I'll go low and round the corner, just to... Sneaky torch.
It's a sneaky torch. As sneaky as a torch can be.
Yes.
In the dark. Okay, so you sort of lean forwards a little bit and you poke the camera round. The torch round, sorry. And what you can tell is this was the bridge of the vessel, which it was. That's no shock. They didn't change it before it got off the launch pad. And it's got some of the old style instruments against the back of the bridge that you'd expect, some scientific stuff, and so on. That's nothing out of sort of the expected there. what you can tell is it seems to have been, as you swing it round, it seems to have become more of a communal area. So there are some very low beds, some like cots, a few tables just on this side of the room that have obviously been used to eat at or sit at. There's a couple of plates, but they're long empty. There's nothing on the plates. As you swing it around, you can see the main windows around the so the bridge has main windows around the sort of the two diagonal and the front. It's got a lot of screenage in there, but they've been covered with sort of a metal plating, and there are sheets hung over it, and there are more sort of struts that have been added, stretching from the floor to the ceiling, which is a higher ceiling than where else you've been. It's almost like the bridge stretches over a couple of floors, so it's a good 10 metres high. It's a big space, and the struts have been added with more sheets over them that almost give it like a cathedral-like, like vaulted appearance. It looks quite grandiose compared to what it was, in a very shabby kind of way. And the whole area almost feels almost religious in a way. It seems like this was where people spent serious time, I guess. And that is what you can see so far.
Okay. But nothing dodgy other than mould.
No, like I said, you can see probably in your angle. You can probably see from the edge of your door up to in line with the eye of the bridge. So draw a line from the edge of your door to the eye of the bridge and keep going straight. That's sort of how much you can see at the minute, without really getting into the door and having a poke around, because they're sort of, the instruments are in your way.
Okay. I'll have a proper peek round then.
Okay. You're going to have to go forwards a bit. You have to go into the room a metre or two to see the whole thing.
Okay. I've still got my hand on my weapon, so I'll be ready.
Okie dokie. So you step in. Klaus will sort of give you a tap on the shoulder, and he'll sort of whisper to you over the comm. He'll say, "Do you want backup?"
I wouldn't give it a miss, no.
So as you ease in into the room, you sort of feel him coming in behind and to the right of you, to sort of take on a more aggressive position to sort of give you cover. You sort of step forwards, and so it sort of opens out. Now you can see sort of the R and around to the B of the bridge. You can see that at the front of ship there is all the old. There's still the helm, what you'd expect from there. The seats, the computers, but they're long dead. Wires torn away, reused, repatched, hanging from above. The sheeting covers a lot of it, as if you know when someone goes into a house and just throws the dust sheets over because they're sort of doing the ceiling or something like that. It's got that sort of vibe about it as well, but just in a very cathedral type way, like they're doing it in a cathedral.
Yeah.
And as you come around the corner, this is when you hear gasping and whimpering from a female voice.
I don't like the sound of that.
Can we all hear it?
Are you outside of the room, or are you?
I mean, I suppose I'd have followed through as soon as the doorway was clear. I'm trying to cover her with the pistol, basically.
Okay. You can. It is a more of a sad and a hopeless whimpering and gasping, rather than a or anything like that, if you know what I mean. It's a woman. And then you hear, "No, not yet. No, it's not time, surely. No, not now. Not now. Please, just give me a little more time. Please, I can't, not again, please."
It's like I asked her to go out with me. Okay. Can we tell where the sound's coming from exactly? I mean,
Yeah, it's coming from I would say, over towards just in front of Long Sleep 1. The other side of that door
effectively
there.
the other side of the bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling we're a bit clustered together. I'm going to try and take the long way round, if that makes sense. Hug the right-hand wall. Not necessarily all the way to the very front, but until I get a significant distance in, and then move parallel to Shay, so that I've got a clean line on anything that leaps out at her, and I've got a different angle in case it shows me something different.
Okay.
Are you all trying to go about it in a quiet manner at this point?
Certainly I am.
Just until we can get a look at, the person or thing.
Okie dokie. I'll let you all roll. Liam, are you going in as well? Are you following through?
Liam probably will enter in at this point. I guess. Yeah, he'll be still by the doorway, but he'll be inside.
Okay. So the two of you then, Shay and Misha. It's dark. I need you to roll an agility for how quietly and stealthily you're able to do what you're trying to do.
Oh, agility always goes well for me.
That's an 8.
Oh, nice. Well, Shay is like a cat.
And that's a 3.
Less cats.
Let's go. What dog, really, for you?
Or possibly an infinite number of cats.
You can't know until you observe them. How many there are.
Yeah.
So, as Shay sort of manages to move stealthily, you're picking the darker corners. If your torch, you're sort of managing to sort of not shine it on the sound, sort of keeping it a bit covered in the hand so they can't see you too well, And what you manage to see, Shay, is as you get around to that corner, you see some sort of storage crates, a number of storage crates, some open, some shut, some that have had like rudimentary sort of bars cut into them, like a small set, like a tiny cell, like a small crate cell. And what you can see inside one of them is a young woman, and her face is pale. She's withdrawn. She's gasping. Her hair is thick and unkempt. Her face is dirty. Her clothes, from what you can tell, just seem soiled and torn. Looks like she's been kept in there for a while. And just as you realise that you've seen this face before on a computer screen, and it's Manuela, one of the 3 engineers that were from the space station, that had gone missing from the space station.
Oh.
And as you realise that, Misha blunders into. It's dark, and he's trying to stay out. He blunders into one of the sort of the desks, sort of the tables, with a clatter, and she sort of looks around. She says, "Who's there? Who's there? Who's that? Who? Please, who? Who is that?"
It's okay. It's all right. We're from Maitland.
Maitland. And she sort of stretches out her arm through the cage, and you can see like bloody bandages covering her bicep. Her bicep's like really dark red bandages for it. She says, "Please be real, please be real."
We are, I can assure you, 100% real.
"Please release me then. Have you got a way off of here, please? We need to get out before the crew return. They're in the engine room. They're putting positive vibes onto Bautista. Williams is dead. We have to go now. Please. Get me out of here.
Okay. Not so fast. What's been going on?
He sort of tries to catch a breath. And she's like... So we were finishing our work, right? On the space station. And we had the airlock open. And we thought a retrieval ship had arrived early. Are you the retrieval ship? We thought... we wondered why they'd not communicated with us. But before we could get out of our beds to see what was going on, these people walked in. They were thin and white-skinned. And they had long hair and beards. They looked all like bone and hanging skin with weird growths. Oh, the smell was foul. It was horrible, foul smell. They didn't say anything. They just started grabbing our equipment, opening boxes. When Williams grabbed one, they just hit him with a huge spanner, killed him. Killed him dead. They grabbed us, they dragged us into their shuttle, and they brought us here. They took Williams too. They stripped him and threw his corpse into the recycling machine. They made us add our portable unit to it. It's like our own equipment to chomp up Williams. They took Bautista and they carved chunks out of my arms and legs and threw me in here. We tried to fight, but there's loads of them. Dozens. And the air, you can't breathe in here. It's just so thin, it gets to your head. Next thing I know, I'm having a half-cloned arm offered to me as food. My own arm. They're taking chunks out of me and they're cloning it for food. Bautista says he was taken to the engine room. The engine's failing rapidly and giving off all kinds of radiation. They want him to fix it, but they don't speak language. They just sort of hum and grunt at each other, like speaking isn't a thing. Like kids, deformed and twisted. Bautista thinks the radiation has been leaking for a generation or more. They don't seem to have feelings, and if anything bad happens, they just start standing around humming with their eyes closed as if that's going to make things better. Bautista calls it positive vibes. It's like they're willing things to get better because they have nothing else. It's what they do around him when he works on the engine to give him the vibes. We have to go. Bautista says the radiation's probably killed him already and the ship's doomed to die here. Can we go, please?
Okay, first things first. Can I maybe offer her my helmet so she can at least get her breath?
It would only work if it's connected to the spacesuit, unfortunately.
Okay. In which case, can I have a look at her wounds, see if they're septic or anything?
You can have a look at her wounds. Can you roll a education with medical, please?
Yeah. Okay, that's a 7.
7. Okay. She sort of winces as you go towards her. Sort of tries to pull the arm away. Before realising, if they're to help.
Yeah, it's okay. I just want to take a look. I'm a medical officer.
From what you can see, it's been bandaged. It's been bandaged and rebandaged a few times. The bandages are gnarly, but not horrific, and it's. Of course, you can't smell anything. You've got your helmet on, so you can't smell it, but it doesn't have that sort of gangrenous look to it yet. It looks salvageable at this point.
Okay. We're going to get you off ship. Just hang tight a second. And I will have a conflab.
Please. Please.
Right, there's something very, very nefarious going on here.
Yeah.
We need to get her off ship. As you can see, she's a bit worse for wear. It seems like just dropping the beacon in engineering, it's not going to be as simple as that.
No. And is what all she's gone through, is that really worth 6 months to either of you?
That is what's
No.
on my mind. When they said, go over there, plant a beacon, and the radiation should be easily manageable. It turns out the radiation isn't manageable. It's filled with deadly mutant horror creatures, and they're torturing people and keeping them in cages. I'm suddenly thinking, you know what? We hide the beacon under a sheet somewhere on the bridge, and we hightail it out of here.
Exactly. Or I mean, even for the sake of 2 foot and leaving it the other side of the locked door to engineering, it's more or less in engineering, isn't it? It's
Sure.
I'm sure Maitland won't see it that way. They're all red tape, but realistically, I think Shay is right. We need to get this person off of here as soon as.
That feels like the right thing to do. We do have a snag, though. I mean, the air's pretty lousy in here, right? But it's even worse when you get out the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Luke, out of game, I don't suppose we saw any in the airlock. I don't suppose we saw any suits hanging around.
The emergency airlock as you went in was, as I said, empty.
We're going to have to get a suit from our end, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could get someone to bring one across.
I mean, we could always ask the mutant monster creatures if they've got one lying around that we could have, but I'm thinking that's probably a poor strategic choice.
Yeah. Do you want me to make contacts back with the Nakuru?
Good plan.
Mm-hmm. And remember, that's what you're going to do, because that is where we're going to finish it at this time. I'm going to give you some weeks to plan.
Luke.
That is where we will finish it.
Excellent. With that little buzz of static as you're trying to connect the radio. Wonderful.
Yeah. Carla, can you hear me?
Yeah, if the radio answers with a humming, we are so screwed.
Thank you, guys. That escalated.
That escalated very quickly.
It certainly did. It was very quickly.
Oh.
But that was great fun. Thanks, Luke.
Well, thank you.
Very enjoyable.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Luke.
I told you there's nothing to be worried about. No ghosts or nothing. No bears.
No, did we check her for, is she a ghost?
Gilly touched her, and she was solid. And Gilly has a degree in medicine.
That's true. And Gilly hasn't removed her helmet, so she's not, succumbed to any spores or mould or fungus or slime that's floating around.
Oh, thank you, Laser Skeleton. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Fids. Thank you, Spares. Thank you, all the others. I've got to scroll up for names now.
Yeah, new people. Who were new people? We had a few.
Jareel. Been here before. Jareel's watching this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jareel, and any of the other newbies, and
the caveman.
The caveman. Thank you, the caveman. So that is where we'll call it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching it. It's quite nerve-wracking. I was quite nervous, it must be said. A late night beard.
You were nervous.
I was nervous when you fell out of your ship and could hardly get across at the start. I was like, this is going to be a very short session. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to do the beard for Ben, but it's landed on Gilly. Let's move it across. There we go. There we go. A late night beard for Ben, just for the fans. Okay, so that is us for tonight. Beer for Gilly. Beer for the road. Now, the Baltic Star weekend is a 4-day weekend. And this is only day 3 of it, which means we've got one more day left of the Baltic Star weekend, which is also a day of a regular weekend. Things are different. It's normally Spooky Sunday with yours truly, but yours truly is not available between tomorrow and next Sunday. So someone else is taking the reins for Sunday night. And who is that?
That would be me.
Oh.
I am boldly stepping up to play a computer game on stream, just as you do a couple of times a week normally. I am going to have a go myself, and I'm going to play. I don't even know how to describe it. I've played about the first 4 or 5 minutes of it just to make sure everything worked. It's called Inside, and it's a weird, paranoid, platform, spooky adventure story.
It does look good. I've watched the trailer for it. It looks very spooky and amazing.
It is good. I've played it. It's good.
Ooh.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
No spoilers. I have no idea what's coming. So,
So that's going to be something good. And that's a little bit early though, right, Ben? Because I go 11:45, but you're not, correct?
I'll be kicking off at about 11 o'clock, I think.
Okay, that's cool. So if anyone is here that is into watching a bit of video gaming, that'll be Ben tomorrow night playing Inside from 11, which I think is well worth a watch. Oh, if my kids are asleep, because I'll be in a premiere in. If the kids are asleep, I'll be tuning in to hassle him. The next part of this skeleton will be, we'll need to check with Gilly, but we've started booking things up in sort of our Fridays is always Traveller, unless it's not. Like next week isn't. Ben will talk about that on Sunday, I'm guessing. But the next, so we book things in 5-week chunks, and so the Saturdays is what we do different things. One of those is normally an Orbital Blues, and we try and get at least one of them to be a Dark Places. So I could see that being in end of this month, early next. I think I could see that potentially, if everyone's free for it. It's about 4 or 5 weeks between at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, whenever Gilly's available, really,
Yeah.
and obviously Luke's back from his trip.
I'm not away that long. So yeah, we'll work it out, and then basically on our Twitter, once we know, we sort of put up a chunk of this is what we're doing for the coming weeks. But next Saturday is something different, which I'll leave Ben to talk about on Sunday. It's quite exciting. And then the week after that is a one-shot with Bears. And then it's Orbital Blues, and then we'll be setting up our next chunk of stuff. But we'll always let you know. If you don't already, follow us on Twitter at Boys Baltic, and we talk a lot about what we're doing and VODs and things like that. And we've got all the previous VODs in there as well. Okay. I'm excited about your next week, Ben. Your next Saturday. Go on, give us a
Telegram Saturday, isn't it?
yes. Give us a 15-second potted what it is without giving too much away.
All right,
Give us
there's
the
going to be
animator.
a lot more to cover at some point, but it's a completely new handcrafted tabletop RPG just for this one stream. It's an espionage story. It's based entirely on a true story, and it's a true story which is important in world history. But there's just a little bit of the story that nobody knows what happened. We know what the outcome was, but we don't know what happened in that very little narrow window. And that's the bit that we're going to be playing through and find out if I mean, we'll never know, of course, but maybe the route that our players choose will be the one that actually happened in reality.
And when did you say this was set? What sort of year?
It's set in 1917.
1970. And yeah, Sparrow is playing, so it'd be helpful if he knows what's going on.
Ooh.
So there you
Good
go.
year.
That sounds good. Yeah, it does sound good. So that's going to be next Saturday. Traveller next Friday, and Thursday Ben will talk about on Sunday, I guess. So it's...
We're not playing Traveller on Friday, are we?
Oh no, we're not playing Traveller on Friday. What are you playing on Friday? Sorry, of course you're not.
Ben and I.
Yeah, we're doing a Fighting Fantasy game book on Friday.
Ah.
Which number are we up to now, Ben?
This will be number 4, which...
Number 4.
Well, I just said we're not doing Traveller on Friday. Fighting Fantasy game book number 4 is in fact called Starship Traveller.
It's the sci-fi one.
You can't even get away from it.
No. There is no escape.
No escape at all.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yes, Friday we're doing that, and then Saturday we're doing we're doing the Telegram.
It's a good double header. I hope everyone's asleep at where I'm staying so I can sneak into those. They do both sound amazing. Cool. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. 11 o'clock tomorrow if anyone likes video games or likes Ben. We all like Ben, so Otherwise, have a lovely day tomorrow, everyone, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you, Gilly. You're amazing as always.
Oh,
Thank you,
you
Gilly.
too.
Most definitely.
All of you.
Well done.
Saving the day.
Well done for not licking the slime. A very good idea.
Oh, it was very tempting.
Oh. Cheers, everyone. Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Love you. Bye. Bye. Love you. Bye.